Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 3, verse number 7. Tatrahritasta naradeva kanyaah kujena drishtva harimarta bandhum utthaya sadyo jagruhu praharsha Vridanuraga prayitavalokai Tatra, inside the house of Narakasura, Ahrutaha, kidnapped, Taha, all those, Naradeva Kanyaha, daughters of many kings, Kujena, by the demon, Drishtva, by seeing, Harim, the Lord, Artha Bandhum, the friend of the distressed, Utthaya, at once got up, Satya, then and there, Jagruhu, accepted, Praharsha, joyfully, Vrida, shyness, Anuraga, attachment, Prahita Avalokaihi, by eager glances. Translation purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Charnar Vindra Bhaktivedanta Swami Sri Prabhupada ki jai. Translation: there in the house of the demon, all the princesses kidnapped by Narakasura at once became alert upon seeing the Lord, the friend of the distressed. They looked upon him with eagerness, joy and shyness and offered to be his wives. Please repeat. There in the house of the demon, all the princesses kidnapped by Narakasura at once became alert upon seeing the Lord, the friend of the distressed. They looked upon him with eagerness, joy and shyness and offered to be his wives. Purport. Narakasura kidnapped many daughters of great kings and kept them imprisoned in his palace. But when he was killed by the Lord and the Lord entered the house of the demon, all the princesses were enlivened with joy and offered to become his wives because the Lord is the only friend of the distressed. Unless the Lord accepted them, there would be no chance of their being married because the demon kidnapped them from their father's custody and therefore no one would agree to marry them. According to Vedic society, girls are transferred from the custody of the father to the custody of the husband. Since these princesses had already been taken away from the custody of their fathers, it would have been difficult for them to have any husband other than the Lord himself. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana-Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvainam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Krishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripasindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
So thank you again. We'll continue. We'll make the volume, increase the volume of it. So again, we are carrying on our Srimad Bhagavatam class. Here we can see that the Lord, yesterday we read that how topic on
Narakasura, how he was the son of the Lord and he became a demon by association, so importance of association.
yesterday we read important association. So today we are hearing that how he had imprisoned 16,108 16,100 queens, and he kept them imprisoned. And so many of them in his what do you call that? Prison. So these women, their role precarious because they were kidnapped by Narakasura. So now the Lord has appeared and he was going to free them. So women, when they are freed, when they will go, because once they leave the father's house, then they cannot go back again. And the same situation was there. The Jarasandha, he also imprisoned, I think more than how many? 10,000 kings. He wanted to do some kind of a huge sacrifice. The number he got, once the number reached, and he will perform a huge sacrifice to kill all the kings. So then Krishna went there and freed them. So when they were freed, then they were given all royal arrangement, dressed properly, and they were again sent back to their respective kingdom. But here is a little different. How to do this? Where to send them back? Correct? So because women, their role is different. Their role is, they have to be protected by the father when they are young, and then when they reach certain age, they are given to respectable man to be wives. And when they are older still, they have to come under the protection of their children, especially son. So you see how their position is different from the position of the man. Two different paths. One is captured the king and he released them back with full honor. And here, what to do? Correct? So then, of course, he decided to take care of them personally. So he married. Yes. So these women they all became his wives. The 16,100, and of course he already had 8 wives. So altogether he had 16,108. And this is the position of God. There is nobody in the East, of course. Chitraketu also married millions of women there in the Bhagavatam. Because he wanted to have a son. But although he married so many of them, he could not have a son. That was his problem. I don't know, you know the story, right? So here, in this case, it was a little different. So Krishna married 16,000 to show his inconceivable nature. You know, one of the quality of Krishna is inconceivable. Where is the verse in the Gita that shows Krishna is inconceivable? Anyone knows?
Mam tu Vettana Pashyam. Mam tu Vettana Pashyam. Nobody knows me.
No one knows him. That's another thing. Inconceivable. The word what? Achintya. Where in the Gita this word is there? Achintya. 8, 9, anyway, start. Hello? So, right here I can put my arms, but in the camera it may not look so good. It doesn't look okay. Never mind. Okay. Alright. So you got it? You see here, Kavim Puranam Anusasitaram Aniyam Sam Anusmaratya Sarvashadantaram Achintya Rupam. Is it the word? Achintya Aditya Varnam Tamashat Parastat. So this verse, you see, so the Lord has got different qualities here. You know this verse? You don't know this verse. Alright, go read the qualities.
One should
Go
meditate.
to the translation word for word. See, Kavim is the one who knows everything. Kavim means one who knows everything. And then Puranam. Puranam means, you know, old. Anusasitaram, the controller. Is the controller. Ano in the atoms. Ano means smaller than the Aniyamsam is Ano Aniyan Mahato Mahiyan. You know the words that's also from the Upanishad. Yeah. Krishna is smaller than the smallest, bigger than the biggest. Right? Anusmaran always thinks of, one who Sarvasya, everything, Dataram, the maintainer. See the word here, Achintya. Achintya means what? Inconceivable. Rupam, whose form. Aditya Varnam, luminous like the sun, the Maharshva to the darkness, the transcendental. Can you read?
One should meditate upon the Supreme Person as the one who knows everything, as He who is the oldest, who is the controller, who is smaller than the smallest, who is the maintainer of everything, who is inconceivable beyond all material conception, and who is always a person. He is luminous like the sun and is transcendental beyond his material nature.
So see, all his transcendental qualities. You know? Do you know now? What word? 8 point? 8 point? You must know, right? So the Lord has got all these transcendental qualities, and one of them is amazing is inconceivable. Inconceivable means he can do something which is impossible. Impossible. How you can marry 16,108 women? Possible. And that also build 16,108 palaces. And that also appear in every one of their palaces simultaneously. Is it possible? The most the yogi can expand to how many forms? Let's say you do this mystic yoga, how many forms you can expand? Don't know. How many? Few, how many? 2, 3, 5. How many?
9.
9 forms. Yeah, the most you can do is 9 form, like what's his name?
Pradamuni.
Pradama Muni expanded to,
9 forms.
and that 9 form, not that you do all independent, that's not possible also. This 9 form you expand, each one must do the same thing. If you move one hand, then all 9 will move their hand. You understand? It is not that they are what? Like here, the Lord expanded to 16,000 forms, and He could independently do activities. Swayam, Prakasha, yeah? Then the Swayam, tomorrow's work, Vaibhava, all these things are there. So you can try to understand that. But the point is this, that the Lord is what? Not the same as a human being. And the human being, the living entity, Jivatma, he cannot do all this kind of activities. He cannot be, what is that? First one. The living entity is not the one who knows everything. You know everything? You know. Why? Because you worry out. What? Huh? No, you cannot know everything, right? And why? Because for you to know, like now, let's say you go to sleep, correct? Huh? So when someone wakes you up, you know, I'm so and so. Yeah. Have you seen when someone wakes you up, let's say when you are in deep sleep, when he wakes you up, what's your reaction? What? Ooh. Is it not you stumble? Is it not? Why you stumble? Why? Because you are in deep sleep, you don't know where you are. You see, the soul goes through 3 stages. One is wakefulness, another one is deep sleep, and in between is the dreaming stage. You understand? You have your intelligence. Can you go 7?
28.
Huh?
28.
What?
28.
7?
28.
28. Go 7, 28. This is not
Wakefulness, dreaming, and deep sleep.
So the intelligence is in wakefulness, dreaming, and deep sleep. You understand? So your intelligence will go through these stages. So therefore, when you come out of these stages, you have to be reminded who you are, what you are. You follow? Like for example, when you go to deep sleep, you lost, you are not in this body. You are not in this. Correct? Your intelligence does not function. Yes? Correct? So in order to come back, you have to go through the dreaming stage, right? And then gradually you realize, oh, I'm waking up, I'm so and so, I've got this to do, I've got that to do. So the super soul in the heart, he gives you that intelligence to wake you up. Understand? That's why he says in the Bhagavad Gita, what verse is that? That he gives intelligence. 15. So in 15, Krishna gives the remembrance, the knowledge and forgetfulness. So you see how the Lord is so important and vital function as a Paramatma in the heart. You understand? So without the function of Paramatma in the heart, it's difficult for the living entity to be even in the material body. You follow? The Lord has to constantly remind, oh, you are doing, oh, you have to do this. You understand? That's the function of the super soul. You follow? So the Lord's position is very, very inconceivable. As a living entity, cannot function even if you put the soul in the body. Without the super soul, the body cannot work. You understand? That's why the Lord expands that Paramatma in the heart of all. Isvara Sarva Bhutanam Nirdesha Arjuna Tishtati. You understand this point? So the Lord is sitting in the heart of every living entity, and His function is two things. What is that? 13:23. So the Lord's function is this.
Yet in this body there is another, a transcendental enjoyer, who is the Lord, the supreme proprietor, who exists as the overseer and permitter, and who is known as the super soul.
So He exists as the overseer and permitter. See, the Lord's position, you know your body, correct? Everyone is sitting in your body, you know, correct, your body. But you do not know His body, neither He will know your body. Yeah. But the Lord, as super soul, He knows everybody. That is the unique position. That's why Chetra Kya. You know that verse? 13 what? So the Lord is all-knowing. That His position is not the same. That's why this crazy idea for the living entity to become God it is crazy. You cannot. You follow? So here, Kshetra Kya Chapi Mam Vidhi Sarva Kshetresu Bharata Kshetra Kya Ho Jnanam Yatta Jnanam Matam Mama. Translation.
O sign of Bharata, you should understand that I am also the knower in all bodies. And to understand this body and its knower is called knowledge.
You should understand that I am also the knower in all bodies. Whereas the Kshetragya only know your body. You see the difference. So the position of the living entity is very what? Localized. It is not expensive. You follow? So this is a very big difference between the position of the Lord and the position of the living entity. Correct? So it is stupidity to say that you can become God. At no point you can become. You follow this point? Are you understanding? So therefore, the Lord, to exhibit His uncommon pastime, right? Adbhutam. Very Adbhutam is wonderful, inconceivable pastime. So He exhibits this Leela. The Lord's activities are Leela. Your activities are Karma. The two different things. Your activities are not Leela. Yours is Leela. Yours is what? What? Yours is Karma. Because you are under the influence of the three modes of. Whereas the Lord is not under that. When He comes down, that's why He says, Janma, Karma, Chami. His Janma and Karma is what? The word is what? Divyam. Divyam means what? Not material. Divya is used for something transcendental. Whereas ours is Karmana Devika Netrena. Karmana Devika Netrena. We are under the control of Karma. Understand? And overseen by the divine energy of the Divya Netra. Divya Netra means what? The living entity's karma is under the purview of the law. That's why it's called Upadrishta Anumanta. Upadrishta means what? What?
See.
Drishta means what?
See.
So the Lord is overseeing. So your activity is not hidden. Whatever you do, you control. There's another verse, 6:1, but you can see 40 something. That the action of the living entity is observed by the sun, by the moon, by the day, by the night. As so many witnesses are there. Can you see that? 6:1. Correct. 6:142 you see here. So the action of the living entity is observed by so many witnesses. The sun, fire, sky, air, demigods, the moon, evening, day, night, direction, water, land, and the super soul himself. All witness the activities of the living. You understand? Where you want to hide? You can hide somewhere. I have one teacher, Guru teacher. He gave a task to the students. I want you to go and steal something from the neighborhood, but you cannot get caught. There should be nobody to be witness. So all the students went and stole something, brought me. With one boy, he didn't go out. So why did you go? He said, yeah, how to go? Everybody is witness. And the teacher said, yeah, you are intelligent. Everyone was told to return the thing back. See how he tests his student. So you see how position of the living entity. This is spoken by the Yamadutta for your information. So that means that your action, you cannot go to Supreme Court and argue with a clever lawyer and try to get freedom. That doesn't work in Krishna's. There's no Supreme. Do what? Do what saying that justify your thing? That's not. So the Lord and His way of managing things is inconceivable. You may ask how the sun will see. The sun is shining now, how you will see your action. So the sun's purpose is not to just shine, he is also witnessing all the activities. You follow? So this is the way the Lord is managing the whole activities of the living entity. So now coming back to these ladies, how they are married with the Lord. Of course, they are married, then there is no more question of their unhappiness. They were already doing tapasya in the house of Narakasura. For so many years they were in distress. Yes, and they have been forsaken. Position is very good. Because the woman's life, you see her job, her ashram. The woman, she especially now, they are trying to teach the woman to become independent. They think that the woman and the man are what? Equal. Equal. That's the education system. You follow? But that's not a fact. There's duties for the women and their duties also for the man. They are two different. For example, here in 10, 29, 25, 24, I think. Krishna has clearly spelled out what are the duties of the women. You see?
The highest religious duty for a woman is to sincerely serve her husband, behave well toward her husband's family, and take good care of her children.
See, this is spoken by the law. Her number one duty is what? Uh, and behave well to her husband's family and take good care of the next verse.
Women who desire a good destination in the next life should never abandon a husband who has not fallen from his religious standards, even if he is obnoxious, unfortunate, old, unintelligent, sickly, or poor.
Right? So if she wants to be successful in her life, her duty is to what? Next life she wants a better life. She has to never abandon her husband who has not fallen from his religious principle. That means if the husband has fallen down, then it should be rejected. That doesn't mean that she go and get married again. No. That is not allowed. Okay. So this is because it is spoken by Lord Krishna. Spoken by who? He's speaking to the gopis. Next verse.
For a woman from a respectable family, petty adulterous affairs are always condemned. They bar her from heaven, ruin her reputation, and bring her difficulty and
So
fear.
the woman's prime duty is that she should be chaste. She should be the only quality for her. That's why she should be protected by her, circle, especially husband and relatives. I think the Indian system is the woman stays in a joint family, correct? And she is looked after by everybody. And also they have a system that the woman stay and roaming around. This what? Antar what? Bahi. They stay inside the house. You understand? They don't just come out and loiter. It says that the woman, there's a word for that her body cannot be seen by even the sun. Do you know that? There's a word for that. It's in the Shishi. When she wants to go out, then there's what? Palanquin carrying her. Not that she walks out freely and takes now but this is not allowed. You understand? But why is it not allowed? Because the body of a woman is mode of passion. You understand? And passion should not be, I think we discussed that length yesterday. What did we discuss? Mode of what? How bad it is, yes? So therefore, to curb the mode of passion, the woman's body is not exposed publicly. Even if she has to go, she is what? Covered, carried by palanquin, and she don't go here, go there. No. Why? Because the whole idea is to control the mode of passion. That's why her dress is how? She is what? Covered, practically, yes. But she is wearing miniskirt. What? Bikini, what? What? Nonsense. You understand? Because they don't know. They think everybody can do whatever they like. This is a free world. Don't know about the modes. So the mode of passion cannot at any time be what? Increased like now. Everything is in the passionate context. Even to sell one toothpick, there must be a naked woman behind it. Done. Yes, you see how? And the agitation of the opposite sex mind. And that is not permitted. The whole idea is to curb the mode of passion and promote the mode of goodness. Yesterday we read, what did we read yesterday? Did you hear yesterday's class? You understand? So this is why the women are kept behind. Why they kept behind? Because they don't want to bring the model. That's why they're not allowed sitting publicly, giving big classes. It's not the jeopardy. You follow? There's anything to curb the model. That's also protection for the woman also. If the woman is loitering, then unwanted people will take advantage. And that is also bad. You follow this point? So, therefore, she should not engage in such activities. Because if she does some adulterous affairs, then her spiritual life is ruined. Her spiritual life is. This verse is there, we read in the Rukmini's prayers. Did we read that? You remember? 1060, 1060-48, I think. You see what she said?
The mind of a promiscuous woman always hankers for new lovers, even if she's married. An intelligent man should not keep such an unchaste wife, for if he does, he will lose his good fortune both in this life and the next.
See? You understand this point? Hello? So if you keep such a woman who is doing all these things, then if he loses fortune both in this life and next life. They are unchaste. That's why I see woman position is very, very, very important. In fact, Arjuna also said, if I kill all the men, then the woman will be left unprotected. When the women are unprotected, then there will be unwanted. 142 Bhagavad Gita. And women with their unprotected, unwanted progeny, what happens? Everyone goes to hell. Everyone goes. This is Kali Yuga. This is what's happening. See that?
By the evil deeds of those who destroy the family tradition.
No.
What was before?
Right, okay.
By the evil deeds of those who destroy the family tradition and thus give rise to unwanted children, all kinds of community projects and family welfare activities are devastated.
The one who was before this. Yeah. Varna Shankara.
An increase of unwanted population certainly causes hellish life both for the family and for those who destroy the family tradition. The ancestors of such corrupt families fall down because the performances for offering them food and water are entirely stopped.
But if Pinda is no more, and even now nobody also doing. Who is doing Pinda? Who? Nobody. Yeah. Nobody knows also. Yes. Because of the unwanted population. So when this happens, then the whole society becomes messed up. I don't know here in India, but
140. 140.
140. So that one. If you go to countries like Brazil, you go to a country like, Philippines, maybe other places I've not been. But I saw in the Philippines what is unwanted progeny. Because in the Philippines there's no divorce law. So the moment you get married, and then if you leave the family, then the children are left on the road. All these kids, they roaming the roads. And what they do, they will get together and they will roam. They will do anything they like. I saw it. The girl was holding a phone and and they just snatched the phone. No policeman came. And then one taxi driver was upsetting them for some reason. So when they smashed his taxi, they climbed on the taxi, they were jumping on it. What is this? unbuttoned clothes. And imagine there are tons of them in the country. What you will do? You got no means. How much you can find? Can you find? So this is going on in major cities in the world. Perhaps it's not here in India. I don't know. There may be. I don't know. But I think in Bombay and all, you may have some groups of people who are completely uncontrolled. So this is the position. So the country can be progressive when e-religion is prominent in the family. Oh Krishna, the woman of the family becomes. So yesterday we read what is the result of e-religion. What causes e-religion? Yesterday I explained at length. What is the result of e-religion? They increase the mode of passion. Increase the mode of passion. Then e-religion arises. Yes or no? Do you know the words? What was it? What words that I showed? So many verses. I don't think you remember. 11, 19, 26. You must understand, memorize this thing. These are all important things for you. See here, when the consciousness fixed on the material body, home, and other similar objects of sense gratification, one spent one life chasing after material object, the element of the sense. Consciousness is powerfully affected by the mode of consciousness, powerfully affected by the mode of becomes dedicated to impermanent thing, and in this way, what? What? In this way, what? E-religion. Understand? So today you are hearing, e-religious principle is the cause of unwanted progeny. And unwanted progeny what? Results in what? Complete chaos. Complete what?
Yes.
The woman will become polluted. That's what's happening in the whole land. And you are into the West, you can see how bad it is. And also I think in your cities also is happening. Nowadays students are learning all kind of crazy things. Right? I see here also they are running in their shops. I never saw that before. Yeah? So why they doing all these things? Increase the mode of passion. Right? And these crazy laws giving them so much freedom, this woman charter. Yes? Understand? Because all are crazy, they don't know. So when the woman becomes polluted, then what happens? Blame the man. Why did you should control yourself? What? Provoking. You are provoking, and who to control? You understand? Yeah. There is complete lack of what? Intelligence. You follow? So you can see, not here it's okay. You go there to the beach to do Sankirtan, you know what happened? They are running practically naked. Australia, even Russia I saw. We went to the beach to do Harinam. I mean, this is terrible Harinam. I mean, it's crazy. It's just crazy. Anyway, if you like, you can come with me and let me show you how nice it is. You want to go to the West, right? Come. Understand or not? It's terrible. So it says in that verse, can you go back? So the woman becomes polluted. Degradation of womanhood. The woman become polluted. When woman become polluted, then everything is finished. Everything is. This is Shastra. This is, and you can see now Kali Yuga, how things have gone. Understand? It didn't say here that the man become polluted, then degradation of the. It didn't say that. It says what? Arjuna's argument is Arjuna's argument. If I kill, then the man or woman, man dies, then the woman will be left unprotected and finished. And the whole country is ruined. He's telling Krishna that this is the reason why I don't want to fight. The reason why? You follow?
Yes.
So it's the fact. We are seeing it happening now. What's happening now? Nothing. What? What's happening? Women becoming polluted. Whole country. It's not so bad here. I was just coming from Delhi. I was looking, not one woman wearing sari. I see Delhi, every woman. Terrible. Yeah, at least some sari is going on here. Not covered. Terrible. You see how degradation going down, going down, going down. And the whole country is mess, not only for you, for me, for every, cannot stay peacefully. Understand? Very difficult. Consciousness is polluted. How you want to live? You want to live like this in a place where everything is messed up? They say women, they have to be protected. Their job is explained even further here. 7:11:25. So what their role is explained. No? Of course, only a few verses and then the Bible, but this is their role. Again, it is repeated by Narada Muni. To render service to the husband, to be always favorably disposed towards the husband, to be equally well disposed towards the husband, relatives and friends, and to follow the vows of the husband. These are the 4 principles to be followed by women prescribed as chaste. There's only 4 principles. How many principles? What is this for? Only nothing but to serve the husband, equally disposed to husband. And not only that, you have to also serve the husband, relatives, friends, and to also follow the vows of the husband. Of course, he should be a devotee. If he is, what kind of vow the husband has? If he is a drunkard, you can follow him. No, if he breaks the principle, can you follow it? No. Understand? That doesn't mean that she runs around like a prostitute looking for other men. No. If the husband has fallen down, then she should either go back to the father or something, give under the protection of brother or something. See, next verse. A chaste woman must dress nicely. This is the first thing. Chaste woman must what? Dress. Bikini. What? Mini skirt. What? Hello? No skirt. That's even worse. Huh? Huh? With golden ornament plastic. What? Plastic. Everything plastic? Golden ornaments for the pleasure of one, always wearing clean and attractive garments. She should sweep and clean the household with water and other liquids so that the entire house is always pure and clean. She should collect the household paraphernalia and keep the house always aromatic with incense and flowers and must be ready to execute the desires of her husband. Be modest, truthful, controlling her senses, and speaking in sweet words. A chaste woman should engage in the service of her husband with love according to type and circumstance. So this is how she should be. She should be what? Pleasing, chaste. Can you go? 1060, 42. No, 1060, 52. Next verse. Next verse. Next verse. Fortunately, O mistress of the house, you are always rendered me faithful devotional service which liberates one from material anxiety. This service is very difficult for the envious to perform, especially for a woman whose intentions are wicked, who lives only to gratify a bodily demand, and who indulges in duplicity. Is there a point here? This is what it means that you should be very sincere. Very good. Just now you read, say friends, correct? Krishna is saying here to Rukmini. But if you do not do this, then very difficult to get Krishna. You understand? This service is very difficult for the envious. I mean, a woman who is envious, whose intentions are wicked, and who needs only to gratify a bodily demand, who indulges in duplicity, such person is very difficult to do devotional service. You follow? So all these injunctions are not my words, right? It is all spelled out by the law. So we have to know. Can you go back again? Go back to 7:11. Brother. A chaste woman should not be greedy, but satisfied in all circumstances. She must be very expert in handling household affairs, and should be fully conversant with religious principles. She should speak pleasingly and truthfully, and should be very careful and always clean and pure. Thus, a chaste woman should engage with affection in the service of her husband who has not fallen. Understand? It doesn't mean the husband can do all crazy things, Can. What? And then she has to just surrender and be with him. Nonsense. It is beating, no? Such a husband who is doing some crazy thing, she should abandon him. You follow? Next verse. The woman who engaged in the service of her husband following strictly the footsteps of the goddess of fortune surely returns home back to Goddess with a devoted husband, lives happily, very happily in Vaikuntha. So this is the result of her chastity. That her chastity, by her chastity, she also goes back to with the husband. That means the husband should be also serious. Space out. What? He also has to be devotee. Correct? So this is the success. You follow? It's not that only the man will go back and the woman will take another million births or no. Strictly in the footsteps, the goddess of fortune surely returns home back to Goddess with a devotee husband and lives very happily in the Vaikuntha. So, guaranteed of going back. If you follow this program, wake up in the morning, do everything, becomes what? As it says, strictly doing, chanting, hearing, then yes, success. Next, there's no more, it's finished. Alright, this is the other part of it. So you see, they are all duties that everyone has to do. You cannot try to do another's duty. You have to do your own. Where is it stated in the Gita? That you have to do your duty. Perfect. Two times it says in the Gita.
1840, 1842,
Huh?
1841, 45.
Chapter 3. Hello? Go to chapter 3. You can see there after 27, 28. It's better to perform one duty imperfectly than another one more. Can't buy.
1847 also, sir.
What?
1847.
I know, but there's one in chapter 3 as well.
35.
Huh?
35. 335.
Yeah, take it out first. So here you see, hello?
It is far better to discharge one's prescribed duties, even though faultily, than another's duties perfectly. Destruction, the cause of performing one's own duty, is better than engaging in another's duties. For to follow another's path is dangerous.
See that? So this thing is again repeated in the 18th chapter,
47.
1847. It's the same point, two times said by the Lord.
It is better to engage in one's own occupation, even though one may perform it imperfectly, than to accept another's occupation and perform it perfectly. Duties prescribed according to one's nature are never affected by sinful reactions.
This time he says, never affected by sinful reaction. So the woman, they should do their duty, the man should do his duty. Right? And even though it's not perfect, but still to success. You know, if you become a devotee, they ask this question, but how we women can go back to God? Just now we read, Krishna also said, everyone can come back to me. Particularly he says, Papa Yunaya, Striyo, Vaishya, Tata Sudra. How can come back? It is not that only the man can go, the woman cannot go. No. See? So how they can go back? They have to accept the devotional. And if they can work like this now we read with the devotee husband, then their life is successful. Simple. So everybody can go back to there's no power. Because going to Krishna, there's another verse, you know. Especially the women are given preference 11.5. You can see 11.5. Because for them to go and understand scripture and all, very difficult. So in this verse you see, Eleven five four.
There are many persons who have little opportunity to take part in discussions about the Supreme Personality of God in hurry, and thus it is difficult for them to chant His infallible glories. Persons such as women, Shudras, and other fallen classes always deserve the mercy of great personalities like yourself.
See? So their class is because they always got so many other responsibilities. So for them to indulge in, chanting and hearing. It's not so easy. So they need a lot of blessings because of their nature. So of course this verse says that how much more greater the Brahmin, but then if they don't take to the path of Krishna consciousness, then the whole thing is finished. Next verse.
On the other hand, Brahmanas, members of the royal order, and Vaishyas, even after being allowed to approach the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord Hari by receiving their second birth of Vedic initiation, can become bewildered and adopt various materialistic philosophies.
This is because they don't get the association of pure. Because anyone of these Brahmins and all that, if they don't surrender to the Lord, then they will fall down. I think it's 11:5. This verse is also quoted in the Bhagavad Gita, 6:47.
Any member,
Yesam Purusham Sakshat
Yavesham Purusham Sakshat
Atma Prabhavam Ishwaram
Atma Prabhavam Ishwaram
Na Bhajanti Abhajanti
Na Bhajanti Avajananti
Stana Prastat Patantyada
Sthanat Prashtat Patantyada. Any member of the four Varnas and four Ashramas who fail to worship the personality of Godhead, the source of their own creation, or who intentionally disrespect Him, will fall down from their position into a hellish state of life.
Is that many members who don't worship the Supreme Lord, they will fall down. Doesn't mean only the man, the woman also. The what? The woman also. Anyone for the matter. If they don't worship the Supreme Lord, they will what?
Fall down.
To hellish to the what? Hellish state of life. So that means worship of Krishna is a must for everyone. Either you're man, woman, whatever. You have to serve the. If you don't do it, then position is very pathetic. Yes? Alright? So you understand this? Is it clear? Any questions? So of course those good ladies were very fortunate, they were rescued by the Lord. And they were given shelter of the Lord.
Why you kidnap them? Why you kidnap them?
You kidnapped them because you wanted to, I guess.
No, there's no it's like you want to marry them or something.
You wanted to misuse them. That's why he kept them. So forcefully he took them. And he was so powerful the king could not fight with him. So what they see? So anyway, I think this is all the arrangement of the Lord. Because for the Lord to go and find 16,000 more, I mean it's not difficult for him, but he could do it anyway. But this is an arrangement for him to rescue them and marry them.
There is a story, right, that those 16,000 wives, some Asura kidnapped them, and then because he tried to marry them, so after Asura, he left them, so people thought that okay, they are married, so somehow how they get married.
That is
So you ask the wife, why you did that? Why?
What's he saying? I don't understand. What's he saying?
No.
He's summarizing the whole verse.
Huh?
Today's verse is summarizing.
He.
He was not here, no, he went for cattle, he came late.
Oh, you came late. So you must go and hear the tape. Suddenly you come and then now I have to repeat the whole thing again. It's going to be difficult, isn't it? Yes. Just like after hearing the Ramayana, they ask you, who is the father of Sita? You understand? So, you share the class, then you will understand. I mean, I covered pretty much most of the things. What else? Any other question? Alright, so, what?
After woman can be married. If one is very strong.
No. Can you go back to that verse 11:5, the woman husband fallen? Can you go down? Can you read the purport?
11:5. 4 is it?
No, it is 7, hello, 11. That verse there, fallen, husband who is fallen. Right. Go to that verse. It's not 11:4. Really fallen. Okay, go down to the purport and read the purport.
According to the injunction of Yajnavalkya, an authority on religious principles, Ashuddhe Sampradiksho hi Mahapataka Dushitaha. One who is considered contaminated with the reactions of great sinful activities when one has not been purified according to the methods of the Dashagata Samskara. In Bhagavad Gita, however, the Lord says, Namam Dushkritino Mudha Prapatyante Naradhama. Bhagavad Gita 77 verse 15. Those miscreants who do not surrender unto me are the lowest of mankind. The word Naradhama means non-devotee. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also said, Jai Dhwaje Shei Boro Abhaktahin. CC Aditya 467. 4. Anyone who is a devotee is sinless. One who is not a devotee, however, is the most fallen and condemned. It is recommended, therefore, that a chaste wife not associate with a foreign husband. A foreign husband is one who is addicted to the 4 principles of sinful activity, namely illicit sex, meat eating, gambling, and intoxication. Specifically, if one is not a soul surrendered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is understood to be contaminated. Thus, a chaste woman was advised not to agree to serve such a husband. It is not that a chaste woman should be like a slave while her husband is Naradhama, the lowest of men. Although the duties of a woman are different from those of a man, a chaste woman is not meant to serve a fallen husband. If her husband is fallen, it is recommended that she give up his association. Giving up association of her husband does not mean, however, that a woman should marry again and thus indulge in prostitution. If a chaste woman unfortunately marries a husband who is fallen, she should live separately from him. Similarly, a husband can separate himself from a woman who is not chaste according to the description of the Shastra. The conclusion is that a husband should be a pure Vaishnava and that a woman should be a chaste wife with all the symptoms described in this regard. Then, both of them will be happy and make spiritual progress in Krishna consciousness.
Alright? What the question? You understand?
As a follow-up question, what is the position of Gandhari? Because she married Dhritarashtra, right? Dhritarashtra was averse to the...
Was not fallen. Dhritarashtra was not fallen.
So,
he supported Duryodhana, his son. That is not that he was fallen.
still he was maintaining religious
Fallen means
principles.
they break all principles. Correct? Don't worship the Lord. You understand? He ended up worshipping the Lord because the guidance of Vidura. He went, meditated on the Lord. And then he got salvation. Yes. Not that he was fallen. No. Anyway, all these people are doing pastimes. Their religion is different. Even what's the name? Ravana's wife? What's the name?
Mandodari.
Huh?
Mandodari.
She is one of the chaste ones. Understand? Although Ravana was doing crazy things, she surrendered to him. understand? It's surrender. I mean, it's just not that, oh, today you fall down or read today, okay, I leave you now. Is it like that? Come on. They have to give time and see, it cannot be what? What is the word?
You cannot be corrected.
It cannot what? Yes. What's the word?
Stubborn. Stubborn.
The word for that. Anyway, if it cannot be what? Corrected, incorrigible, then of course you try and cannot do what to do. Yes? There's no fault of the woman.
Gopal's sister was told it.
She tried and she convinced him to become a devotee. You understand? So she tried and helped. Until no hope finished, then what to do? Then he probably live separately. You understand? So there are systems, not that you go find another guy. It's not, that's what they do. But because women cannot sit on the fire 2 times, Yes, this is all that. Any other questions?
So the definition of fallen is the one who is not devotee, right? Like, but those who are also worshipping the Lord indirectly by following Varnashram Dharma, they are considered okay, right? They will not accept Krishna, but they will worship.
No, but that's the Krishna Ishwar Tavat. Any member don't accept Krishna.
But Ravana does not accept.
Huh?
Ravana does not accept.
Ravana is position different. They are doing pastimes. He came because he had to be Ravana, otherwise where the question of Ram?
But
If Ravana is not there, any Ram will be there. There is no Ramayana.
Varnashram, Vishnu Rara Dede Panta, that was Varnashram Vivachista. That verse says that even by following Varnashram Dharma, one is facing Krishna.
Varnashram system means to accept Krishna as the supreme personality of God.
But that verse says, even following Varnashram Dharma, one is facing Krishna.
Huh?
By following Varnashram Dharma, one is facing Krishna.
One what?
Pleasing.
Pleasing means to accept his authority. If you are demigod worshipper, but you still understand that Krishna is the supreme, then you're okay. If you are devoted to some demigod,
Take me back. Mike is
mine is what?
This mic is good.
Power is one.
on a battery. Take a
This
battery.
is like the battery.
Yeah, battery.
So Varnashram system, any member don't accept the supremacy of the Lord. But if you are worshipping some demigod, but you understand that Krishna is the supreme, there is no wrong with that. Understand the point? But usually they worship the demigod and they think that the demigod is all in all. You follow? That is not acceptable. That's why you say Avidhi Purvakam. That's what? Avidhi Purvakam. Wrong way. Big mechanical work. No sound.
Okay.
No sound.
Okay.
Okay? So try to understand, you cannot deny the existence of the Lord. If you do that, then you're becoming demonic. Asuras and Sura. Bhagavad Gita 16:5. Right?
But the Karmakandis, they don't accept Krishna directly, no? The
Wait,
Karmakandis.
let me see the section. Can you go to the next one? Yeah. You see that? This is the verse. Can you read?
Daubhuta sargau lokesmin daiva asura evacha daivo vistarashah prukta asuram parthameshunu. O son of Pritha, in this world there are two kinds of created beings. One is called divine and the other demoniac. I have already explained to you at length the divine qualities. Now, hear from me of the demoniac.
Yeah. So anyone who is against the order of the Lord, then he is the asura. Right? So you cannot become what? Demonic. Then you are against. Demonic means what? Against the acceptance of God. That you cannot do. You? Detrimental. That is what? Detrimental.
So the Karma Kanda means they accept Krishna as Supreme Person, but they worship the demigods because they want some material. No.
11, 21. You can do also 11:5. 11:5 goes to that. This verse is somewhere. Anyway, I'll show you. I'll just show you 11, 20, 21. 11, 21. 11, 21, 20, 33, 34. 11, 21, 33, 34.
The worshippers of demigods think we shall worship the demigods in this life, and by our sacrifices we shall go to heaven and enjoy it there. When the enjoyment is finished, we shall return to this world and take birth as great householders in aristocratic families. Being excessively proud and greedy, such persons are bewildered by the flowery words of the Vedas. They are not attracted to topics about me, the Supreme Lord.
So Prabhu, the question is that the Karmakandis and the Jnanis and Yogis won't accept the supremacy of the Lord, or they considered fallen, or
11, 5, 8.
The materialistic followers of Vedic rituals
Can you go to 7 first?
Sorry, 7. 11 by 7.
There's one word before. Read that.
Due to the influence of the mode of passion, the materialistic followers of the Vedas become subject to violent desires and are excessively lusty. Their anger is a kind of a snake, deceitful, overly proud, and sinful in their behavior. They mock the devotees who are dear to Lord Achyuta.
Hello, Brahman.
Yes.
Huh? Huh? Yes?
Yes.
Understand? Understand? They think they are very big time. They know more than you. Right? Understand? Next, read the next.
The materialistic followers of Vedic rituals, giving up the worship of the Lord, instead practically worship their wives, and thus their homes become dedicated to sex life. Such materialistic householders engage one another in such whimsical behavior. Understanding ritualistic sacrifice as a necessary item for bodily maintenance, they perform unauthorized ceremonies in which there is no distribution of foodstuff or charity to the brahmanas and other respectable persons. Instead, they cruelly slaughter animals such as goats without any understanding of the dark consequences of their activities.
Yes, you know that. You know what they do. Understand? So all these karma kanda guys,
so the Karmakandis and Jnanis and Yogis, they are considered to be fallen?
Yes.
Wife has to give.
Huh?
Wife has to give the husband. Those wives must give the husband. The wife of the yogi and gyanis and the karma.
You're following them? What they're going to do? Right? That's why he's saying, Pavunam Janmanam Ante. Vasudevam Sarviti Samahasma Sulabha. God, I can give another class on this. But if you engage in self-purification, you have to see repeated program. If you engage in any karma, you also have to see repeated program. If you don't accept Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, again you also have to see repeated program. There's 3 verses on this. Give a class on that. I don't have time now. Already 10 o'clock. You understand? That's another subject. I think if you look at my other videos and all, so many videos, I don't know you here then you know. But otherwise, to repeat for you again. Maybe tomorrow you ask me the question and we can cover that. Alright, so we'll stop here then. And for your information, it is 554, 555, or 556. There are 3 verses on this one. So you take note and you will refer to no problem. So how also if you don't accept the authority of the Lord, then you are not authority. That's why Krishna said in 9.3, Asritana Purusha. You know that word? Those who are faithless, they have to repeat, see repeated. Samsara Vatmani. Again you come back to the samsara. Devotional service is so important. Without surrendering to Krishna, you cannot make it. You cannot? Yes? Alright. Thank you very much. Interaction with our
Jai. Jai.